Hey guys, welcome back to another What the Fit. Today we're doing part 12 to What If Naruto was born with a kitsune genkai. If you want to know what happened in the last part, there'll be a link in the description down below which takes you to a playlist where you can watch all the previous parts in order. And well, yeah, if this is the first time obviously watching this What If, I'd suggest very much going to our playlist. Anyway, so with that, let's get into this. So it'd be around about 2 weeks since the mission, of course, in those 2 weeks. Well, 3 of those days, which were the day they got back, Naruto had spent Tsunade had wanted Naruto to spend a week in the hospital due to the fact of the Ross and Shuriken's backlash of obviously damaging the own user's chakra network in the hand. Though Naruto had ended up pointing out that it could be possibly maybe even any day now. And yeah, of course it ended up they ended up having a small argument with Naruto eventually somewhat winning and getting that week down to just 3 days. And yeah, though in those 3 days Naruto wasn't just playing there bored as hell. He was somewhat also had spent some time talking to the fox and had eventually managed to get the fox into thinking about getting into a an alliance of some sort with his J-Lo's Jinchuriki. Or as somewhat. Well, yeah, of course, Naruto pointed out that because he's never, in some, really kind of way, ever really meant to use its chakra, and in time, he somewhat has it's either been somewhat, generally kind of unknowingly / almost necessarily in some, some way, and yeah. And he'd also pointed out that he's willing to go as safe, of course he could request up to, minus obviously being, freed, because that would kill him. But yeah, and of course the fox would end up somewhat taking that in and really somewhat thinking about it, because he could maybe somewhat figure out some way to get some little freedom, or that, like maybe being able to say or at least maybe form some type of unique kind of contract where you could, or at least somewhat funjutsu where they could say potentially somewhat leave her body for maybe like a couple of minutes to an hour or so at a time, or maybe he could freely somewhat leave, but somewhat in a somewhat only in a somewhat area, and that the amount of chakra she can control of his is the max amount he can obviously draw out due to the 8 trigrams seal holding back his chakra, which is also of course somewhat that and somewhat Naruto's own somewhat unique seal to kind of that even though the 8 trigrams seal has been weakening over time, of course it's still even weakening now, but the difference is that if it does completely disintegrate, she's got her own seal that's around it that wouldn't weaken at all from having its chakra. It'd actually strengthen the more he tries to somewhat leak to weaken it, the stronger it actually get. Because it pretty much be amplified by its chakra going out, and it'd feed its chakra going out back into it, whilst also feeding a small bit of it into, of course, Naruto's own somewhat chakra, somewhat mixing it so the corrosive effects aren't as bad, and also to enlarge one's own reserves, of course. So yeah, all somewhat banned, like that, and the fact it was also, Naruto's thinking of a much even better skill than the one she currently has as a somewhat backup / assistant to the 8 trigrams one, which would be the somewhat latest and greatest, pretty much, somewhat advanced Funjutsu on 3-dimensional ceiling arrays, which she's the only one that can do it, or he can. He's the only one that can do it. Can do 3-dimensional cells. At the moment, Dryer is, of course, learning, but it was taking Dryer time to really wrap his head around the 3-dimensional ceiling arts. And of course, she's already made one. Nat's already made one to go on Sasuke's cell to permanently lock it away until he can properly somewhat look at it, in some a kind of great and updated detail to be able to truly and finally remove it for good. Yeah. Anyway, so after those 3 days, they'd spent the rest, Naruto and Kekkai and Sakura, training. So today would be another just normal training day, when all of a sudden he'd hear a yip. He'd somewhat be confused as, he'd look around and it's fox, and it's don't just speak, so a wild fox. He'd spot it, and it'd come up with a somewhat scroll, somewhat in its tail, and it'd somewhat kind of look at him and somewhat yip, whilst somewhat kind of looking like somebody was going to hand the scroll over. After blink, and you then realise, these somewhat obviously fuck. Somewhat though he'd momentarily forget who he was around. Though, yes, I could go. Though Naruto would somewhat take it, and he'd somewhat ask a kind of somewhat, in a way, stupid question, and he'd remember that he's in front of Sasuke, or at least he's somewhat around Kakashi and Sakura, both who don't know said fox can speak, or at least the fox doesn't know who they are, so it's not going to speak. And so Naruto would somewhat thank it and take the scroll and would give it somewhat a treat, and it'd read it, and it would stop, turn to Kakashi, and would just say, "It's time." Kakashi would go, he'd momentarily go, "Why, Dad?" As he'd go, "Right, I'll go tell Hokage-sama," and somewhat, as he would then disappear, Sakura would be somewhat confused and go, "Huh? What does some of that mean?" He'd turn to Sakura, and Naruto would turn to Sakura and go, "If you want to be of any help, Sakura, go to the hospital," and somewhat asked to talk to the somewhat medic head, head of the somewhat hospital, and tell her that the 5th Hokage has said it's time. But just say that, Sakura. I can't explain. Just go. So, because it would be Naruto would stay in a more commanding, somewhat esque tone, which would cause Sakura to stand upright and would state just hi before leaving. Somewhat quickly, Naruto ended up speaking to her somewhat in kind of a leader-esque tone in which kind of just promised severe punishment and pain if you disobey. And that, and one in which if you have trust, you just would listen and would go, yes, somewhat yes to, you know you're in safe hands. And yeah. Well, yeah. And well, yeah. Though Naruto somewhat yeah. You then drop an empty skull as he plop down. So, well, yeah, as he cross his legs, somewhat sitting down, the fox would jump, well, yeah, jump up onto his lap and would somewhat, kind of curl up, kind of waiting for Naruto to give it a scroll to deliver to, somewhat Sasuke. Yeah, Naruto would somewhat be writing somewhat reply fast to simply state that that they'll be there within 10 to 15 minutes, and to somewhat wait for 10 to 15 minutes and then send some chocolate into the somewhat kunai I gave you. And yeah, and Naruto would also state roughly who'd be there, somewhat the Okage, the Sensei, and some other somewhat Jonin, somewhat Guy, Asuma. Don't think Kunai would be there because I don't think she's really good at his genjutsu, and of course somewhat while she could be useful somewhat of course in the genjutsu department, again it's Orochimaru. They don't know how much somewhat does Orochimaru know, or does he have an inkling that Sasuke's somewhat pretty much being somewhat a spy, and if he does, then how many people are laying in wait in Orochimaru's base for them. So yeah, so some of like Kekai's best and most trustworthy shinobi are there. But yeah, would somewhat be there. And well, yeah, of course, strongest as well. Strongest and obviously very much most trustworthy. So yeah, and yeah, 5 minutes later, would see them. Would somewhat see in the exact same training ground 7. Somewhat Tsunade, Tsunade, Dryer, and Naruto would be kind of up at the front, though Tsunade would be the main one speaking somewhat to them and telling them somewhat the some idea, the rough outlay of somewhat the base according to Sasuke's latest somewhat update. And yeah, of course, because they'd all be there, somewhat ready and kitted out. So yeah, and obviously somewhat their kind of roles in the fight, where they somewhat, and yeah, that would take, of course, another 5 or so minutes. And well, we have 6 or so, even more, to obviously gather everyone, tell them. And yeah, when everyone was somewhat ready, they'd all have their hands kind of somewhat on top of one another. Like on one another's somewhat shoulders for each kind of group. There aren't many, maybe only like say 3 or 4 groups with maybe like 5, like say 3 to 5 joining each. And yeah, and of course somewhat up at the front spearheading wouldn't be Tsunade, but would be Naruto, because to somewhat close her eyes as though someone would one of the joining would ask, how is this going to get them there within a blink of the eye? Somewhat because it would continue down, it's not like she knows the Hiraishin, or it's not like he knows the Hiraishin or anything like that. Yeah, some would say, but wouldn't obviously lift up due to the fact that Tsunade had commanded them to do so. And yeah, those Tsunade would ask kind of what was taking somewhat so long, which Dry would agree, and Naruto would simply state that it was Sasuke they were sort of waiting on for now. And well, yeah, though finally of course you could feel all somewhat kunai, but of course you generally somewhat right, so of course you could feel one somewhat far away. With this many people, you'd be better off using somewhat though it did obviously feel somewhat duller than the somewhat few one at the hospital, which Shizun somewhat carried around, or there's one at the front desk that generally drained somewhat. One obviously Shizun carried around because she's somewhat the parents have the hospital, so she's always there. So she's somewhat got obviously, so she carries around with one, and so that's pretty much always got a somewhat chakra reserve to kind of fill itself up on when it starts to get low. Schneider obviously somewhat has one, and there's one in somewhat her home, which is always kind of refilled anytime she enters, as it drains anyone's somewhat reserves, some chakra, and well, yeah. And anyway, so yeah, so of course Sasuke's one would feel somewhat duller, more so probably due to the fact Sasuke kind of somewhat probably didn't exactly know what to do with it, so kept it somewhat generally away, so it'd send chakra into it as it'd flare to life like a giant beacon in somewhat a dark, very much dark spot. And she'd yell out, "Brace," as there would be a flash of white light as they would disappear. They would reappear microseconds later, and of course Sasuke sent chakra in and out, flung it into a much wider opening, not exactly understanding somewhat how she'd appear with a ton of people, but yeah. Well, yeah. Though she'd stated you'd understand once you very much witness somewhat the arrival, and in a somewhat a flash of somewhat actual red instead, because somewhat she'd Sasuke's or at least one she gave Sasuke was a somewhat red, or at least flash would be a somewhat darkish red to more easily blend in with the night, but not black, just a dark red. And Sasuke would immediately realise Hiroshin, and obviously many people there would be dumbfounded that a some 15-year-old person knew the Hiroshin. And she'd somewhat pick somewhat up Sasuke, one, and would just somewhat throw it back at him. I mean, she'd grab those quack an eyebrow and she'd go that would go wide, somewhat your marker in a way. So if you ever need help, of course, somewhat send, and pretty much you could say summoning marker for me. Though, and someone nod, and from there it'd be you'd somewhat obviously tell them the most up to date obviously some information and the critical and somewhat how bad Orochimaru currently was and that, and from there they would follow Sasuke into the base, and well, yeah, the second they, of course, second they appeared, they knew they'd be somewhat spotted, so when they'd, of course, arrived, well, yeah, just as they were arriving, there were obviously some sound shinobi running out to, see what this threat was, and just seeing a very small army, just there with Sasuke seemingly leading them. Yeah, they would be dumbfounded. How did I sneak up so far, so quick? Yeah, they just appeared out of thin air. Yeah, of course, some were already going to see why Sasuke had fled his chakra, mainly because Orochimaru had ordered them to, and yeah, though Orochimaru, of course, feeling Sasuke's chakra flare, of course, the only thing he could think of was, one of his brat's teammates knowing the higher Shin or a different teleportation jutsu. That's the only thing he could think of, and yeah, he could hope not, so he sent some strong journeying sound in to see what Sasuke is doing, though when a Shantan people appeared, he immediately knew Sasuke had crossed him, and at the worst possible time. Best possible time for them, worst for him, because he was at his weakest, and he would curse Sasuke as Sasuke managed to straight up almost very much nearly fall Orochimaru into completely believing that he wouldn't have a dream about crossing Orochimaru. You'd have to be insane to do so, but yeah, he did. Yeah, and they would go somewhat charging, and they would fight, and yes, of course, Orochimaru was still stronger than when Kekkai and Sasuke killed Orochimaru, but he was still weak, very much weak. He just was slightly stronger than his Kekkai and stuff when he killed when Sasuke had killed him, absorbed him. So yeah. And that would happen. Of course, one or two Jonin would die, but out of the amount, somewhat, and they'd somewhat counter, fled, that attack. He was worried he wasn't going to go up against them. He was he'd immediately fled, and of course, though, Sasuke would somewhat take it. Sasuke, Team 7, and not really Team 7, Naruto, Kakashi, and while replacing Sakura temporarily would be Tsunade herself. I just somewhat told them that they have it here, and any obviously somewhat jutsu stuff he could handle. As he'd say, he may not be as clever as somewhat Naruto's, but he's still more than clever enough to deal with Orochimaru's potential skills, as long as it wasn't gas mark. And though Sasuke would when somebody was leading them to one of Orochimaru's hideouts, the one that had a potential Uzumaki, he would ask Naruto if he could somewhat seal away the mark, which yeah, he'd nod as he'd state that he can, just not right, obviously now, but yeah, though he would say that he's got a much better permanent seal than the one, that was originally placed on him. A much stronger one that would use its own power against it. And yeah, Sasuke would be somewhat surprised and would nod, though of course, though it was a weaker form of the one she was potentially figuring out, though this one was a two-dimensional seal, so a flat plane, unlike the somewhat three-dimensional seal that she originally put somewhat on for somewhat Sasuke. Yeah. Anyway, because somewhat three-dimensional seals are a lot more painful to or at least somewhat the person, if they're applied onto a person, a lot more painful, and if they haven't experienced childbirth or having a child be sealed inside of them, it's gonna be hella painful. And yeah. I know I'm forgetting the details, but that was what? I don't think that was canon, was it? I don't know. Oh well. Anyway, yeah. Yeah. And so, they would arrive, and Sasuke would would show in some end, and Kyrie somewhat go up, and she'd immediately somewhat pale, though though she'd start out, so Sasuke, you protect Orochimaru is dead. He would just say, I was never with him in the first place, Karin. But if you come with me, join Konoha, I could promise you, you'll be in safe hands, truly. She'd look a bit pensive, though Tsunade would not demonstrate that, that she would be in safe hands, and though she would ask for a last name, she'd somewhat meekly nod. Of course, a signing being there would go, of course she'd just somewhat obviously tunnel visioned to Sasuke, just seeing him as it was the first one to enter, and then when Tsunade had spoken up, she'd kind of went meek and slightly pale. Those who state that, of course, her name was Karin, and she'd state Uzumaki. She'd go, though, before Naruto could speak, she'd put her hand over Naruto's, she'd go, from what side of your family, your mother, your father, or are you a full-blooded? She'd kind of, just on a goal point, she'd go full-blooded, ma'am. So I would go, no need for that, we're cousins after all, 1/4, and this one here, just to Naruto, is half. So, yeah. She'd go, why doesn't, she'd go, you're joking, right? She'd shake her head, no, as, she'd, somewhat kind of, she'd gain somewhat tears in her eyes. She'd thought she was alone for the somewhat longest time, and she didn't know kind of what to do. Did she just stand there, cry? Did she run? What? But her mind would, somewhat fail her, and her instincts would go and just run somewhat to them. Of course, Kakashi would somewhat tense up, kind of ready just in case it was a trick. But she'd end up just kind of, throwing her arms somewhat around giving someone giving Naruto and Tsunade somewhat a hug, as she'd somewhat be crying tears of kind of just somewhat of just finally somewhat meeting, sure, maybe not full-blooded, but one quarter and one half Uzumaki family. She finally met family. She finally had a family once more, and yeah, she'd cry. And both somewhat Naruto and Tsunade would kind of somewhat cuddle her back as well. And yeah, though Kashi and Sasuke would somewhat going off, just telling them, somewhat that they would obviously go through as there may be another person or so. And yeah, and maybe even someone that Tsunade may even be able to potentially help, or at least somewhat the combination of both Naruto and Tsunade may be able to help a person. They would somewhat nod and and, of course, one of them would be the the kind of person that when he gets angry, he kind of somewhat kind of loses control, kind of thing, and then somewhat Suigetsu, the person who somewhat can turn his body into water. And, of course, they're somewhat, both would kind of begrudgingly, though, it's either Jogon or Jugo. Jugo? He's pretty much like a, somewhat, kind of constant, kind of like absorbing, somewhat, obviously, somewhat nature energy in a way. It's like an imperfect, sage mode, in a way, as he, kind of constantly, in a way, loses control in that, so, yeah, obviously somewhat, Sasuke would obviously tell him that if he joins, he can, that, one or two people, one mainly being Naruto, as that was almost guaranteed a seal that Naruto could, come up with to fix Jogon's somewhat problem, possibly permanently, and then Tsunade may be able to figure some physical way, or the both together may be able to form a seal that could allow him to do it in a much more controlled, safe, and kind of fully controlled manner, to the point of where he could become his kind of more enhanced Sage Mode self and still remain in full control. And if Naruto can bend space and time to arrive instantly, or less time and more space, then surely there has to be a seal, right? And Regretsu more or less would more or less agreed, because would obviously like to, somewhat get the somewhat legendary somewhat swords and that, so kind of more of a kind of somewhat no-brainer. And so from there they would they would of course return to somewhat kind of carving somewhat there with somewhat the the two girls and one boy, or and from there they would somewhat go and meet back up with the others, and from there they would after kind of linking up with Naruto again, they would somewhat Naruto would tell them that it may be a slightly bumpy ride, they'd crack an eyebrow. His mum would go, "What do you mean, Bumpy? It wasn't Bumpy the first time?" Though he couldn't finish it, as they would disappear in a white flash and somewhat appear in the in somewhat Training Ground 7. Somewhat together, though 2 or 3 people found themselves on top of, a couple of people found themselves on top of one another. And she'd somewhat, though Naruto slightly, somewhat, panned, mainly like the somewhat distance. And that as she's not quite used to obviously teleporting with a load of people, a load of people yet. Though that and also a marker that was kind of only temporary and kind of losing its she was obviously losing its signature, so it would be a slightly rough ride. And she'd somewhat asked if everyone had their correct body parts and that none were in unique places. And because she'd obviously somewhat experimented around with somewhat mice and shell clones, and once these shell clones would immediately dispel, some of the mice have had body parts and unique places before they died, or they'd die but their body parts would obviously still be in unique places. And so it was kind of a somewhat very good idea to not attempt a teleportation with a seal that is fading. And of course, she'd generally somewhat hoped that the chakra would somewhat be enough, but due to the brightness that it was kind of running on somewhat, that would allow it to teleport to it. It drained the cell faster than what she expected, thus. Though they'd all report that they were in the right they all had the right body parts and that none were in odd places. And from there, somewhat they would go, though, and somewhat and only a couple, and only, a day later, Sasuke would get a message from his brother to meet him. And of course he would, go and somewhat tell, Tsunade, who of course who was going to promote Sasuke, but maybe not right this second, so she'd just she'd tell him that, she'd somewhat tell him that, Kakashi and Naruto would, would go with him, just somewhat in case of some things. And of course Naruto had actually sealed away and also had applied a secondary somewhat seal, or a somewhat secondary seal, which would just act like a chakra backup. So once his chakra ran so low, it would inject his own. Obviously, it would inject its somewhat it would inject him and hopefully bring him back to full. If it couldn't, then obviously it would be able to. But if it could, then it still had chakra left, and it would keep him at it. Then it would wait until he was once again near empty to once again inject him with more chakra. And pretty much acting like a battery, just with 100% somewhat discharge rate. So there was no loss of somewhat the fight would go pretty much like in canon. Naruto and Kakashi would go up against Kitsune, Sasuke would go up against his brother, and of course that fight would end up, of course, awakening his Wangekyo Sharingan, and his brother had, well, yeah, of course, yeah, though, and, yeah, though before he could somewhat actually die, he would somewhat send chakra, at least he would send chakra into the kunai. Somewhat, I was just hoping that maybe Naruto could potentially save his life. He was no medicine, but Finjutsu had seemed to be able to do almost anything, so yeah. Though somewhat to be surprised as a flash of dark red would appear, and yeah, he would somewhat go forward, and Naruto would realise he was about to die, so immediately, should no, he was like, no, he wasn't immediately going to die. He was a minute or so away from death as he was starting to somewhat walk towards Sasuke, and Naruto he'd quickly end up somewhat thinking of, and kind of somewhat thrown up in a somewhat still going no yes, and would somewhat immediately run towards he'd somewhat say, I don't have poof, just he'd disappear in smoke. He couldn't finish his sentence in time, and yeah, she'd look to Sasuke and she'd go, he doesn't, I know. And yeah, she'd nod and she'd put her hand on Sasuke's, Naruto would put her hand on Sasuke's. He'd go, well, let's just hope that somewhat Bachan could maybe do something about him. He would somewhat nod, and they would, they would appear by Kakashi's somewhat side. Kitsune would obviously seen the two would somewhat slightly cuss, obviously, he somewhat knew, obviously, Itachi was going to die, somewhat knew it, and yeah, Itachi told him, and yeah, so he would somewhat leave, obviously, his bond with, his obviously friendship with Itachi, though Kitsune would somewhat turn around, though before he'd leave, he'd go, so instead her, and just as he's about to jump away, or sanction away, not to go, not yet, but who knows, maybe we'll be able to heal him and fix his condition. Kitsune would momentarily stop, and he would go, if you heal him, then though he of course wouldn't really know the right words, because he did, well, obviously, Itachi was very much like a friend, like a very, close friend, maybe even like brother to him, so though a kunai would find itself kind of next to him, and he'd quack an eyebrow, and Naruto would somewhat just sigh, just as he would state, I know you're part of the Katsuki, but somewhat just make sure you stay away from Akatsuki for the next week. If he dies, I will appear and tell you. If he survives, I'll tell you. And yeah, Kitsune would just somewhat nod, and he would leave. He would pick up the kunai and leave. Kakashi would somewhat look at Naruto and would go, You sure he can? He seems close to Itachi, very close. In fact, probably say they were very much either close friends or maybe even like kind of. Oh yeah, I'd probably say at the very least they were very close friends, like best friends, and or something like that. They were definitely, at the very least, Kisame definitely had a close friendship with Itachi. And well, yeah, I had a lot of trust in Itachi as well. So yeah, Kakashi would somewhat just nod as he'd go, well, I know it'd be on my head if we somehow get Itachi to survive and someone like Kisame comes and becomes a part of Genkai. I know it'd be on my head if he goes rogue. And well, yeah, Kakashi would just nod and they would leave from there. Though Sasuke would somewhat look down as he'd look over to Naruto and he'd go, so you're journeying, and Naruto go, yeah, I thought I told you. Sasuke would blink and he'd shrug. With everything that's happened, I've probably forgotten. Either that or you forgot to tell me and you believe you have. They would somewhat look at one another and they would shrug. And yeah, they would, Naruto teleport them back into Tsunade's office, and after somewhat reporting, and yeah, those Tsunade somewhat nod and, well, yeah. Because the army had already left. She didn't know when they'd be back, so it was just better to have them just out of the office. Outside, and well, yeah. And well, yeah, of course she herself somewhat would quite thankfully would like to heal Itachi and give him a place in Konoha. After all, he was only following the orders of Danzo, but he was still following orders. She could easily pardon him and just state that the third and Danzo had gone seen. Well, yeah. Both of us had gone senile. And in some aspects, Hyuzen probably had gone very much loopy, crazy. And well, the fact that he left a 3-4-year-old child to cook and somewhat do everything on their own hinted at going senile and that, so yeah. Anyway, and well, yeah, from there, obviously she moved into Minty until somewhat Itachi, because the scroll was the only thing. Oh yeah, it pretty much paused his life, so the second she unsealed Itachi, his death clock was ticking once more. And obviously, and she'd go through countless somewhat records of obviously somewhat medical history and all the somewhat shinobi clans. And yeah. And of course not exactly knowing, though Naruto would initially teleport to Kitsune to ask if Itachi ever took any type of medicine and that, and Itachi would, Kitsune would somewhat nod and would actually have a somewhat an empty one, but nevertheless, an empty somewhat pill bottle and somewhat what it was. And yeah, Naruto somewhat would ask obviously kind of more medic level questions, but it's Itachi had somewhat told him when Kisame had gotten curious and had, so he'd do his best to obviously somewhat to explain it, and yeah, she'd thank him for the information, as that was currently just female. And teleported once again back. and gave it to somewhat Tsunade. And yeah, it reported back somewhat what it was as yeah, Naruto may not be somewhat a medic nin, but well, yeah, still could somewhat be handy that, and Naruto could spot maybe something that could potentially, work that, and should need Naruto's mammoth reserves to have any real chance of truly healing Itachi from whatever was causing his premature death. And yeah, and somewhat should, well, yeah, and thanks to that information, and a day or so later should finally figure out what was causing it, and also would find a somewhat cure that would require a ton of chakra. Thankfully, she's got kind of her resident chakra battery. Well, yeah, so, well, yeah, and obviously she'd somewhat tell everybody, yeah. Well, no, she'd obviously somewhat, well, yeah, so Sasuke, Kakashi, and Sakura would be kind of some, well, Sakura was more kind of there for, kind of somewhat, or at least hoped to kind of be there for the both of them. Granted, she wanted to be in there as well, but just not they told her that she'd just be somewhat useless due to her low chakra reserves, and that, well, yeah, and that even she herself didn't have enough chakra reserve, even her own reserves weren't great enough to do it fully, and thus somewhat Naruto was there for. And yeah, and so of course the countdown, well, yeah, they would immediately somewhat unseal it, and Itachi would, well, yeah, Itachi would kind of somewhat immediately kind of snap open his eyes and would look around from the uncivilian, unknown somewhat, and go, my Tsunade go, just shut up already, somewhat, and yeah, but I'm just shut up, she'd yell as you'd feel chakra, it's no use. Oh, shut up, do you even know who I am at them? Or do you even know who you're in the presence with? Itachi, Uchiha, who'd somewhat blinking through somewhat blurry eyes, it'd go, Nade? And she'd go, yes, now shut up. And somewhat concentrating on using all your willpower to stay alive for as long as you possibly can. I know how to heal you, but it's going to be a while. And yeah, somewhat he would, and he could feel slowly life, like his almost like death clock reversing its time. And yeah, of course his eyesight would still be blurry. And yeah, though hours later, two very exhausted somewhat females and one somewhat sleeping shinobi would somewhat leave, and yeah, so now they would kind of just blow a sound. Sasuke would immediately stand up as she'd somewhat hold up her hand as she'd tell him, he'll be fine, Sasuke. He'll be fine, and yes, I'll inform you of everything that, and yeah, he'd somewhat just nod, and yeah, of course Sakura caught him up on, how, well, doing obviously somewhat the, of course, thing. Of course, Tsunade again couldn't promote Sasuke, more so due to the sheer amount of just work in potentially saving a shinobi's life. And well, yeah, and potentially maybe getting a of course somewhat kitsune would of course somewhat be under somewhat watch, but hey, it'd be better. Well, yeah. Anyway, though, and and so from there, the somewhat next day, of course, would come. Tsunade would be telling Sasuke about the somewhat the somewhat Uchiha, somewhat coup d'etat, and somewhat his role his brother played in it, and the stupidity of Donzo, Hiruzen, and the two elders, and she tell him that Donzo, the two elders, will be punished for what they did. And yeah, Sasuke would just should go as there still would have had to been death. If I was Hokage back then, that you wouldn't have a father. I have to say that you wouldn't have a father, but you would still have a mother. You'd have a brother. You have a brother, but you would have had him since then. You would have never left, besides from missions, of course. But the Uchiha clan, the civilian part, and any shinobi that was against it would still be there, alive. And yeah, you would just somewhat would nod, and and Naruto would of course go and tell Kisame about the success in healing and saving Itachi, and she'd then tell Kisame on the offer, and Kisame would think about it. He could go to a village, he wouldn't be missing in no more. Granted, it'd be a Konoha, but hey, he'd have a friend there, and he'd have obviously somewhat other strong ninjas there, and plus at the very least that they obviously Konoha wasn't exactly known for just wiping out, or at least deciding we're killing all bloodline users, as most of Konoha's shinobi were bloodline. Had a bloodline, so that would be incredibly stupid of them, and so from there he would head off towards Konoha. Though Naruto would give him a scroll personally from Tsunade, which he'd obviously tell him would allow him to get into Konoha. Though obviously an Ambu escort would take him to Tsunade, the 5th, and and from there, guys, I'm gonna end this what if here. So if you have enjoyed this, if you have enjoyed part 12, tell me in the comments down below, and guys, hope you have a good day or night, depending on wherever you are and whenever you watch this, and good bye.